Space time! So here's a little introduction to what we're getting into for this upcoming unit. We're going to be looking at gravity and a bunch of different space things. If you remember earlier on in the year, we know that gravity is a force, and normally we just call it a weight. We say something like weight equals mg. We're going to talk more about this force due to gravity, exactly what's causing it, and exactly what this g is. I told you early on that g here on Earth is just 9.8 meters per second squared. That's not exactly true. It's a little bit more complicated than that, so we'll dive into that as well. We're also going to be looking at some energy and looking at some angular momentum, and we'll be looking at some ellipses and what are known as Kepler's laws. So we'll be discussing a lot of different space stuff. What you're going to need for this, though, is some of the different equations and notes that we have for it. So if you're in my class, you'll be able to go into our Google Classroom, and if you look into the classwork section, there's a new topics area called Corona Gravity. Corona because we're doing this because of the COVID-19, and our unit is gravity here. If you look down, you'll see something called the online gravity notes start here, and within that there's a link to a Google Drive folder. And if you access that folder, you'll actually be able to see two folders within it. One is called Notes and one is called Practice Problems. The Notes has everything we need here in either a Word document format, a Google document format, or a PDF format, so however you like to open those. And there is a completed version of the notes. So if you were to open up the completed version of the notes, not only do you have the notes here, but they are fully completed and filled out for you. So if you want a blank copy and you want to write this, and I know myself, whenever I'm like looking at stuff, if I don't write it down, I'm not going to remember it. But if you want a finished version of it, so you're like, hey, this is what it should look like, they're already finished. So everything you need there is in there. I wrote it all out. If there's something you can't read, just let me know. Okay. Aside from the different notes and the completed version of it, there's also something called the ellipse model. It's in both a Word document and a PDF. The Word document is blank. It's just a blank file that if you wanted to print out, you could do that. The ellipse model PDF is the finished copy of it, where everything that you would write on the original one is in there. So, we'll be talking about this in one of the videos, what all of this is and whatnot, and what these equations are. But if you want that, you have it. The other thing that you will definitely need in this unit are the solar system data and equations. So I'm just going to open up the PDF because it's easiest for me to see that. And this has all of the different masses and radii for the different objects in our solar system. Pluto isn't really a planet. It shouldn't be there, but whatever. We use it. So here are all the masses in kilograms. Here are all the radii. And then these are the orbital distances. And there's a column from the sun and a column from the planet. If something is orbiting the sun, then we can say it's a planet there. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That's how I grew up, right? If something is indented a little bit, like under a planet, and its orbital distance is away from the planet, then that's one of the moons. So our moon is, this far away from the Earth, but then Phobos and Deimos from Mars. And then here are just 4 of Jupiter's moons. Jupiter has like over 60 some. We're actually not exactly sure because they're hitting each other and stuff. But here's 4 of them. Here's one of Saturn's moons, Titans. We're not listing anything out there. So here you'll need this data for our solar system. We're going to use it. Note that all these numbers are like 1.99 times 10 to the 30th. On your calculator, you should be using the E button whenever you punch those in. So it's like 1.99 E to the 30th, okay? And that's that big capital E, not the lowercase one. And then all of the equations we're going to be using are down here as well if you need them. We also will find relativity equations on this. We're not going to be using relativity unless we kind of get to it at the very, very end of the year, so you don't need to worry about any of that there. But they are here if you wanted them. If you're just a random person, here they are. Pause the video, copy them all down. So that's what we're going to be using for this. You will need this. Make sure you save it somewhere, or you have access to it and open it up or print it out, because we're going to be using it a lot. And that's pretty much it. If you check out the YouTube videos, we'll be going in just orders of 1 to however many it takes us to finish this. And hopefully we'll also be playing a little bit of a game here and there to try to test some things out. So with that, take it easy. Check out more of these videos for the gravity stuff. And adios. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da, bum.